Happy Tuesday, or whatever day of the week you're watching this. I'm Tommy Maroon for Tommy Maroon Sports Show, episode number 170. Should be a lot of fun, folks. First things first, those playoff Guardians. That's right, not the regular Cleveland Guardians, but rather the playoff Guardians. Let's look at the playoff history. There's a team right there at Comerica Park celebrating what was one of their 92 regular season wins. Now Cleveland has made the playoffs 16 times in franchise history, their 11th division championship. And out of those 16 postseason appearances, the Guards have reached the World Series 6 times, 1920, 1948, 1954, 1995, 1997, and of course 2016. And the Guards only have 2 World Championships, 1920, 1948. The 74-year-long drought here in Cleveland is the longest active drought in Major League Baseball and second longest active drought in sports right now, only behind the 1947 Arizona Cardinals back when they won the NFL championship, back when they were in Chicago instead of Arizona. It's also the 4th longest World Series drought in MLB history. The longest droughts in MLB history are from least to greatest, 1918 to 2004 Red Sox, 1917-2005 White Sox, and 1908 to 2016 Cubs. Hopefully change comes for the Guards and the Guardians can be world champions. Won't that be great? Time to look at what happened in the wild card round. It was a best of 3. They only needed 2. My goodness, that was incredible. And what happened here? It was Mr. Oscar Gonzalez blasting a 1-ball, no-strike pitch deep and gone. My goodness. Here's how it sounded when I was pretending to commentate it.
Pretty close. We're probably not the happiest guy about it, but he's good. He'll probably bounce back 1-0. Or maybe not. That one's in the left center. Get out of here! Get out of here! SpongeBob wants it off! Oh my God! Look out, Yankees! Here come the Guardians! Here they come! 15 innings! Oscar wants it off! And Cleveland wins it 1-0! Unbelievable! Game 2 goes to the Guardians on an unbelievable 1-0 walk-off win. Everybody wants to know what I would do if they didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
And that bouncing in the background is most likely me bouncing on the chair in my patio room. It's broken from all the times I've bounced on it. Yeah, that was insane. Shane Bieber, that was my live reaction. I was recording it. I was working on college homework that entire day. And yeah, I was working on college homework and in between of watching the Guardians. And this game is exactly why there's a runner at second in extra innings, just so the games don't take an eternity and people don't get bored to death. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people missed the runner at second rule. Even I, someone who at first didn't like the rule, was like, you know what, maybe that's not a bad idea. There's Jose Ramirez making a fantastic play. But yeah, Oscar Gonzalez hit a walk-off home run in the 15th inning. That's the longest playoff game in Guardians history. And I think one of the longest games in Progressive Field history, the longest game ever, was in 1995 against Minnesota, 17-inning throwing victory. But my goodness, that game was truly incredible watching that. And what about Game 1? How about Game 1, I ought to say, because Game 1 had Shane Bieber going 7.2 innings pitched and 3 hits and 1 run. Jose Ramirez hit a 2-run bomb in Game 1, and Jose Siri hit a home run for the Rays in Game 1, which was their lone run. The Guardians outscored them 3-1 in that entire series. It was pitching heavy and pitching dominant. And it was truly one of the best wild card series out there, despite it being in 2 games, because even though the only 3 games set, Mets-Padres happened, Game 3 was very anticlimactic. 6-0 win to the Padres, and the Lowell Mets doing what the Lowell Mets do pretty darn well, I guess. But yeah, that was unbelievable. And it went against former Cleveland Guardian, Mr. Corey Kluber. That was one of the most exciting. I think that was their first walk-off home run in the postseason since Tony Pena. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it was. Tony Pena and now Oscar Gonzalez. Wow, NASCAR time. Bank of America Roval 400. Christopher Bell won and moves on to the round of 8. Joey Logano, stage 1. Ross Chastain, stage 2. A.J. Allmendinger, 4th. Justin Haley, 5th. Chris Buescher, 6th. Not that much chaos or yellow flags throughout this race, I guess. The red flag, however, did come out lap 110 due to curbing issues and forced the race to go into overtime. You know what that means, folks, with overtime. Of course, typically on road courses, you don't see too many, yellow flags when they spin out because they're way away from everybody. But looking at the top 8 right now, playoffs on my phone, trying to find it. Where is it? I think it's right here. Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, and that is it. It's those 8. And Elliott, Logano, Chastain, and Bell are leading the pack. They can move on to the round of 4 championship, which, holy cow, we have Las Vegas, Miami, Martinsville, and Phoenix, and we're done for the season until February, in which the Great American Race happens. Well then, time to look at Tommy's picks, the recap. Alrighty, folks, let's look at it. Crazy stuff happening in high school, college, and the NFL. In high school football, Archbishop Hoban keeps up their undefeated season with a 28-14 win over St. Vincent St. Mary. Kirtland survives the first half scare with a 35-8 win over Lakeside. Highland trounces Cuyahoga Falls by a final score of 70-7. Oh my Lord, that is unbelievable. That is just insane. 77, that's a season high. And what I've realized is that the Highland Hornets have basically become, in my opinion, the Chuck Norris of OHSAA football. The boogeyman checks his closet every night for the Highland Hornets. The Highland Hornets scored infinity twice. We scored 35 points and then the game started. The Hornets don't sleep, they wait. The Hornets, if you ask them what the time is, they'll say 2 seconds. After you say 2 seconds till what, they will sack you, like what they do to quarterbacks out there. Just nothing out of Cuyahoga Falls at all. Ooh, here's a good one. A blind man stepped on the Highland Hornets team. They responded, "Do you know who we are? We're the Highland Hornets." By reference of the name, the man's sight was restored, but the only thing he ever saw was a bunch of Highland Hornets tackling him. Let's think. When we first landed on the moon, there was print on the ground that said the Highland Hornets were here. And the Hornets can do wheelies on unicycles, run over tanks with bicycles, win Connect 4 and 3 moves, speak French and Spanish, drown a fish, and of course, as we all know, Freddy goes to bed every night hoping he doesn't see the Highland Hornets in their dreams. The Hornets are why Waldo is hiding. And of course, Superman had a bet with the Highland Hornets. The loser had to wear their underwear on the outside. And of course, if the Highland Hornets call you, they didn't call the wrong number. You picked up the wrong phone. And when Alexander Graham Bell invented the phone, speaking of which, he had 3 missed phone calls from the Highland Hornets. I can only imagine how that transpires. Like, I finally invented the telephone ring. Ahoy, hoy, who could this be? It's the Highland Hornets. You missed our phone call. And by the way, that is exactly how Alexander Graham Bell greeted people on the telephone. So, yeah. The Hornets got a Big Mac at Burger King. Bigfoot has Hornet sightings. And the Hornets diary is a Guinness Book of World Records. Just some of the many Highland Hornets facts, not jokes, real facts about them. Anyways, I'm losing my train of thought. Archbishop Moore proving that they're one of, if not the best team in the state, with a 25-10 win over St. Ignatius. Medina beats Brunswick 42-21. They are 1 2-point conversion away from being undefeated. And Mentor beats Solon 33-27. How about this game right here at Art Wright, where Austin Town Fitch took down Wadsworth in quadruple overtime? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, is this game ever going to end? I was following it on my phone because all the games were over except for that one. I swear to God, if that was a Highland game at home, my phone would be dead. Hudson beat North Royalton 42-26. They keep their undefeated season alive. Rocky River beat Westlake 38-7. Avon beat Berea Mid Park 35-7. Avon's still number 1 in Region 6. Elyria Catholic Downs and North Olmsted 42-21. Twinsburg beat Brecksville 27-14. Strongsville shut out Euclid 30-0. And Cleveland Heights beat Maple Heights 50-30. And finally, Walsh Jesuit took down Lake Catholic 42-14. College football time, that's right. Tennessee beat LSU 40-13. TCU took down Kansas on their backup 38-31, where College game day was. And
Oklahoma.
yes, Oklahoma, very true. They just got blown out of the water. To Texas out of all teams. Texas is never good. Texas is one of the most overrated football programs out there. And Oklahoma just looked dead. 49-0 at the Cotton Bowl. And Georgia gets back to their dominant ways with a 42-10 win over Auburn. Of course, that was after an upset scare against Missouri last week, or the week before. Utah at the Rose Bowl, a half-empty Rose Bowl, 42-32 win. Ohio State took down Michigan State 49-20. Arizona State took down Washington 45-38. Clemson takes a win over Boston College 31-3. USC beats Washington State 30-14. South Carolina upsets Kentucky on the road with a 24-14 win. And finally, Notre Dame gets a big win over BYU, 28-20. It's about time. And you got to be wondering, if you're a Notre Dame fan like myself, where was this the first 2 weeks? Illinois defeats Iowa 9-6. Alabama beats Texas A&M 24-20. Thanks to Texas A&M messing up on the last play of the game.
But they dropped to number 3.
Yes, they did drop to number 3. And Oregon took down Arizona by a score of 49-22. NFL time, featuring arguably the worst football game of this generation. In overtime, the Colts beat the Broncos 12-9. Russell Wilson looks like he's never played a game of football before. Broncos country, let's ride. More like Broncos country, let's die. It's been that bad of a season for him. No touchdowns, bunch of field goals, bunch of punts, and once again, the Broncos can't score a touchdown within the red zone. My goodness, they are depressing. Worst Thursday night football game I've ever seen. And I didn't even watch it because I was watching other stuff at the time. I don't know why. I was watching probably, let's think. Yeah.
SpongeBob.
Probably. But man, oh man, my goodness gracious. I'm glad I didn't watch that game. I can watch it on my phone on Twitch, but for some reason I didn't watch it that day, probably because I had a lot of stuff to study for. That's why I was studying for college test that I took. That's why. Giants beat the Packers. How about that? 27-22 in London. The Bills beat the Sucker Steelers 38-3. Kenny Pickett looks absolutely awful. And you know what your name tree says? Steelers gone to Super Bowl. That's right.
Chargers beat the Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett, that's one way to say it. Yeah, like for instance, rather than running it towards the right side, towards the bottom right corner for a touchdown.
Throw it right at the guy.
Yes, exactly. You throw it right to him. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then Cade York misses twice. Guess who has Cade York on their fantasy team? This guy that's talking right now. I was so frustrated. And meanwhile, in a game that was really bad, the Texans beat Sucksonville 13-6. The Vikings almost blew a big lead to the Seabears 29-22. And the Patriots took down the Little Lions 29-0. And the Lions, who entered the game with the best offense in the league, got a yummy donut after that game, or a bagel, or whatever the thing is shaped like a zero. Saints beat the Seahawks 39-32. And the Jets, how about the Jets? They're 3-2. They beat Free Willy, albeit on their third-string quarterback after Teddy Checkdown got hurt, 40-17. Buccaneers beat the Falcons 21-15. Of course, the main highlight of that game was Tom Brady getting absolutely destroyed on a, roughing the passer call. I honestly don't know how he's still alive after that. Grady Jarrett, I think, was the guy who did it. And honestly, I don't know how he didn't die. Because as you could tell, if you ever watched it, he just goes right down to the ground. Ow. Titans beat those commies 21-17. 49ers beat the Panthers 37-15. Matt Rule is fired.
Finally.
What do you mean finally? It's fun for other teams to fail, except that if the other teams are the Browns. Baker Mayfield sidelined. Eagles beat the Cardinals 2017. Cooper Rush. How about Cooper Rush? He's beating up on everyone. A 22-10 win over the Cowboys. Ravens beat the Bengals 19-17. And the Chiefs beat the Raiders 30-29. Speaking of horrible, traumatic, roughing the passer calls, Derek Carr was completely roughed last night. What happened was he was looking to throw, and then he gets sacked. And this is a dramatization. Watch as I fall down. That's pretty much what happens. He falls down, and then the defender just gets off him after tackling him, after 1 millisecond after tackling him. He just goes down. Apparently nowadays the NFL wants you to, like the quarterback's looking to throw. First, make sure that there's a seat right here. Make him like this. Force him to sit down, and then make him fall off. Just push him a little bit like this, and then make him fall down to the ground, and then just tap him, and that's a clear sack. But then again, the refs would probably call it a roughing the passer call. 2 back-to-back games of roughing the passer in which people were thinking, that's roughing the passer. Oh well, in high school football, I went 10-5 with 11 points, putting me at 71-44 with 89 points. In college football, I had a bad 7-7 with 8 points, 53-32 with 60 points. In the NFL, I'm 11-5 with 12 points actually, 43-36-1 with 45 points. Now time for Tommy's picks. Starting off with high school football, the winless Benedictine Bengals against the undefeated Archbishop Hoban Knights. Lock of the week right there, picking Hoban to win it. Archbishop Moore against St. Ed's, 2 of the best teams in D1. That could be a D1 championship game. I'm picking Moore to win. St. Vincent, St. Mary playing Cleveland Heights, picking Cleveland Heights. Roy against Highland. This is it. This is probably our biggest test of the season. I pray to the good Lord we win it, and I think we will win it over the Green Men. We gave up 20 points in week 1. In weeks 2 to 8, we have given up a combined 20 points. That's how dominant the defense has been. Yvonne Lake against Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. Upset right here with the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. Wadsworth against North Royalton, picking the Grizzlies. I'm picking the Blue Streaks to beat Perry. Barberton against Cuyahoga Falls, picking Barberton. Talmadge playing Copley, picking Talmadge. Brunswick playing Hudson. I'm picking the Explorers. Shaker Heights against Maple Heights, picking Maple Heights. University School against Warrensville Heights, picking University. Edgewood against Kirtland, picking the Hornets of Kirtland. And Lutheran West against Independence, picking those Longhorns of Lutheran West. College football, some exciting games coming around out here. That's right, folks, that is right. Michigan against Penn State at the Big House. I'm picking the Wolves. And then Oklahoma playing Kansas. Well, after that embarrassing effort by the Sooners last week, I'm picking those Jayhawks. Illinois against Minnesota, picking Illinois. Ole Miss against Auburn. Lock right here. Ole Miss should take down Auburn. Hard to believe that the Tigers have become a shell of their former selves out there. Tennessee against Alabama. Here's an upset. Tennessee on Rocky Top, Neyland Stadium, where College game day is going to be there. I don't know about you, but I think Tennessee's got a good shot against Alabama. I think they can win it. TCU against Oklahoma State, picking Oklahoma State. Syracuse against NC State, picking Syracuse. Georgia Southern against James Madison, picking James Madison. Michigan State against Wisconsin. Someone has to win that game, and that someone has to be Wisconsin. Florida against LSU. As much as I hate to pick LSU as a Notre Dame fan, LSU. Florida State at Doak Campbell against Clemson. Of course, Florida State plays at Doak Campbell. And I'm picking those Clemson Tigers to escape with a road win. It won't be easy for them, though. Kentucky against Mississippi State, picking Kentucky. Notre Dame against Stanford. Come on, Notre Dame's got to be in the top 25 after this one again. Right? Right. I know. Pick Notre Dame. Utah against USC. Here's a bit of an upset. Utah winning it. Thursday night football in the NFL. Right when you think it couldn't get worse, it could quite potentially be worse. Because the Commies are playing the Sea Bears, and I'm picking the Washington Commies to win. Falcons against the 49ers, picking the 49ers. Browns against the Patriots. All right, come on, Browns. You guys got this, right? I hope so. Packers against the Jets. Typically, this is when I say JETS suck, but this year they haven't. They've been doing really well, and the Packers have been slipping a little bit. I have an upset right here. Jets win. Colts against Sucksonville, picking the Colts. Free Willy against the Vikings. Of course, Miami is reverting back to Free Willy out there, but honestly, it's not their fault this time. Everyone's getting banged up. They don't have a quarterback. Picking the Vikings. Saints against the Bengals, picking the Bengals. Giants, Ravens. The Giants are 4-1. Honestly, I didn't know who to pick here, but I picked the Ravens. Then the Steelers, who are gone to the Super Bowl, playing the Buccaneers. I'm picking the Buccaneers. Oh, my goodness. The Steelers absolutely suck this year, and I'm here for it. Wow. Rams playing against the Panthers. I'm picking the Rams. Seahawks against the Cardinals, picking the Seahawks. Chiefs against the Bills. That will be a great game and a great rematch of the Classic last year, picking the Bills. Eagles against the Cowboys. Cowboys will win, and there will be no undefeated team standing after Sunday night. Then Chargers against Broncos Country. Let's die. Picking the Chargers as my lock of the week. Wow, we talked a lot today, and hopefully we get to talk more next week. So next week will be the end of the regular season for high school football. Quite a shame, but you know it's not a shame. The high school football playoffs are almost here. The top 16 teams in each region will make it in. So we'll see what happens there 2 weeks from now. So until next time, until next Tuesday, hopefully, I'm Tommy Maroon here signing off. Have a great day.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.